Welcome to Soto Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. Today, we are going to design something for Halloween. Not too scary, but spider. So I'm sure you've already seen the thumbnail. I'm just a few days away from Halloween. I figured I would put something together real quick with the extra balloons I have to show you guys a corner balloon wall, but not just the corner balloon wall, but to add that spider for Halloween. That's just my Halloween design for this year. So I'm going to show you where I set up. I decided to put it in our furniture store so that we add some decor for Halloween at the store, but also the space is there so I can put some of these balloons to use and out of my office. I think that's a perfect way. Let me show you what I have here. Okay, so we're right outside the office. We inflated a ton of balloons for the birthday party. You haven't seen that video yet. I'll post that once I get all that edited. So I figured every time I have a lot of balloons, the best is a balloon wall. So let's go to the furniture store so I can show you my idea. Then we'll move all these balloons. Hopefully I don't get in the way of customers coming in. So my plan was a corner. So I'm thinking, well, there's that corner too, which might be good. I just don't know if I want to climb up that high. And I don't think we'll be able to move these beds. So I was thinking of something right maybe here, just along here with the spider kind of crawling down. This might be okay because you can see this from over there. It's either where I just showed you or my other spot was right here behind this sectional here. But then it'll cover that window too. So let me think about it and I'll set up and start decorating. All right, I decided on this area behind the sectional. So if you've watched my channel for a while, I was on a balloon wall kick for a while. Probably a year ago, where I showed different designs for balloon walls. I have several tutorials on my website, but I've never done one in a corner, which I've always wanted to do. Not particularly this design, but one that goes all the way to the floor. But I figured I could use this opportunity to do this in the corner where it's kind of a chic Halloween look. So we're moving furniture out of the way so I can get on to explaining. Like I said, when I have plenty of balloons, that's the first thing I think of because it makes it easier to not have to worry about inflating. These are the hooks I'm using. They come with the shimmer wall and they're handy for projects like this. They don't always work for other designs, but this worked well for this particular one. So I am threading my 260 balloon between the metal so that it stays in place. If you just tie it, sometimes it comes off or slides off if there's some tension. So I double knot it, and at the end I tie the ends together so that I have a loop, so it's like a rubber band, and I can just slide that around the 11-inch balloon. So we're making several of these for each point that we are going to connect our balloons. So I'm repeating the same thing. It's a little hard to get that 260 into that loop, but once you have it in, then it works. Sometimes I have to use a safety pin to get it through, but if you do what you have to do, it's easier and better to get it through so that you don't have to worry about the balloons sliding off and you losing your design. Richard is bringing all the balloons from outside my office where I showed you. I'm pressed for time because I have to pick up the kids, so he's helping bring all that in so I can just start designing while I prep everything that I need to get going. This is not I would say it took me about an hour to complete. A lot of times when I speed up, it's hard for you to tell how long some of these garlands take, but for this one it took about an hour just because we had to move things around. This is a spider I bought on Amazon. You just inflate it like you do those plastic balls or different props for pools, and it has the same tip that you just push in when you're done. So I'll show you how I attach that later on in the video. I'm just inflating the spider first just so I can gauge how big of a wall I want to create, because obviously I don't want the wall to hide the spider. I want the spider to be the main point of my balloon wall. So I'm getting my ladder through here. I know I'm going to put something around the window there. So I'm starting by I'm starting by putting my command hooks on the black part there of that window seam, and then I'll put the rest on the wall. First, I was hesitant whether or not it would hold, and I did not want to get the bigger, heavier, taller ladder, so I decided to just put it on the wall, and it worked just fine. So it's gonna go there. Let you know what happens with that wall when I'm done or when I take it down, because sometimes this will peel off the paint, but we'll see when that time comes. If we have to paint again, I'll just touch up those areas. So now I'm working on creating the balloon wall. I said when I have several balloons, I try to create a wall. I have created several walls before, but not with these many balloons. I would say this is a record of the number of balloons I have had to inflate for an event. When I had the grand opening, we had more balloons than this, but I had some help inflating. This one I did all by myself, and we use all of this for one event. So make sure you're subscribed, like the video, share, and you click the notification bell so you don't miss the video of when we post for this, what we use these balloons for. Now, onto the balloon wall tutorial. It's going to be a quick one. I'll reference a lot of my other balloons down below, some for beginners and some for more experience. This one would be intermediate because it has the larger balloons. I always say when you have the bigger balloons, it's harder to create the wall because the bigger balloons create more of a gap that you have to fill up. But if you're using the same size balloons, or you're using just the 11 inches, you can cover those gaps and then go back in to create an organic look with the bigger balloons. So right now I'm adding some more of the command hooks just to hold it up above where I need it to go. The balloons are already inflated, so it's more of a puzzle for me to decide what shape I want to create with the balloon wall. So now I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want it to go. And for the most part, some of it I'm going from the back using the necks of the balloons. I've had people ask me in the comments how I'm connecting the balloons. I just take the necks, preferably the necks of the 11 inches over the 17 inches. Sometimes in a rush, I just pull whatever I can reach. But because the 11 inches or 12 inches are a lot more stretchy. So you pull those, you tie them, and then you're able to connect the balloons that way. If you don't want to do that because that's harder on your fingers, you can also use rubber bands to connect them, or you can use ribbon, or you can use some fishing line. So those are different ways that you can connect the balloons together. So I'm readjusting balloons here, twisting things together just to get it all situated. And then if there's a gap, I just pull two necks again and just tie them together, and that holds it all in place. Because the balloons are already inflated and have the 5-inch filler balloons, I'm twisting some of them around to bring to the front to create that organic look. You can see a gap there along the wall where I have that pink balloon on the very end facing you. I'm going to put another command hook there so that it holds that part in place without making it show. Initially, I tried to cover the other one at the top, but it was showing, so I added this balloon. But now I'm going further in, and I'll connect that towards the back like you see here, and that'll hold that in place. The good thing is the command hooks are very sticky. I didn't have to wait 30 seconds like you do on some of the command hooks. Now we have one more longer piece to connect towards this, and we're just going to figure out where we want to put this one. Again, you're pretty much just adding. If they're too long for you, you can cut pieces. Some people even put one cluster at a time. That's also an option. If you want to see other designs, let me know. Again, like I said, I'll put some options down in the description if you want to see. I have one that's fairly popular that I did at a bridal show, and it's a bit easier to connect. I actually sent that link to someone recently who sent me a message on Instagram. So hopefully that turned out well for her. She said she also followed me on YouTube, which was nice to hear from her. Connecting this piece, as you can see, we're connecting at several points, just using the necks, and I'm just going to angle this towards the right. I will admit my first that at the end it looked kind of like a large heart, but again, you design how you want it to look. I wanted it to look like it was coming down to the couch, but that the spider was going to crawl down on whoever is sitting on the couch. If it's scary for you, not scary for you, just an idea. And mainly the goal of this video is to show you how we create the balloon wall. So wasn't trying to make it scary. I know at some point Richard said, this is not really scary. And I said, well, it's going to be scary. It's going to have a spider. So that's my position on this. So last piece being connected here. I had a couple other balloons, but because we're pressed for time, we're just going to leave it as is, taking a few things out, connecting the necks as well. We have a few gaps. We're going to readjust a few things and just make it work. We still have to move the couch towards the back, so leaving room for that as well. Now we have our bigger spider web. It comes with this large net spider web, but it also comes with more of a stretchier spider web that you can do whatever you want to with. This, I thought I was gonna get all tangled up, but before I could get all that done, I decided to just go ahead and start hooking it up. It has the corner piece here on a hook, so I decide to just go ahead and put that on. But first we have to move the couch again, or the sectional. Moving that out of the way, then I can get my ladder to climb up and then connect that. You can see where it's drooping a little bit. I'm not too worried about that because I know I'll be able to lift a few things up. Now I have my spider web, wider spider web. I'm gonna put that in this corner. I go ahead and just attach it to one of the filler balloons, and then pretty much you're using the balloons to hold this in place, just tucking them in between the balloons to get them to fit where you want it to go. Of course, we want to cover most of it to get it all situated. It was a tight place to work with, so made it a little slower for me. But like I said, this took about an hour, 15 minutes total between when I started talking to you about my idea and getting everything done, just based on the time I had on the video. But of course, I clipped out a lot of parts where I was talking to a customer and just different things. So there we go, just gathering some of that so that it looks not too structured. Of course, it's a spider web. So then we are pretty much done, happy with what I see. Now time to connect my spider. I'm going to take half a 260 and just tie on the end. I'm thinking I'll wrap this around the balloon at first, but then I decide that I will just create a loop like I have with most of the filler balloons and just put that on one of the balloons. So I'll show you a close-up here of what I did. I just wrapped that around the base. I popped that out, tied it, and pushed it back in. And now I'm looking at where I'm going to attach it. I decide to go on the filler balloon. So I need a smaller loop so I can tie that through like I'm doing. And I have a loop to just go through there. We're going to have to climb again, pushing all that out of the way. I'm going to hook it onto the very top because I want it to crawl down, right? It's targeting whoever is sitting on that couch. So we're going to put that on that filler balloon through, and it's in place. So I have smaller, tiny spiders. I thought I had ordered some of the inflatable spiders on Amazon, but I realized I didn't order it. So I don't have that to show you. I was going to put few on the wall and against that balloon wall, but that didn't happen, so we're going to work with what we have. This spider web is stretchy. You just kind of pull till you're happy with what it looks like, and then you can put it where you want it to go. So I pulled that out, and I have that to fill towards the top where there's no web. Then it has a few tiny spiders on there, very tiny plastic spiders. So that goes on. You can see it if you're in the showroom. But with this one, I'm pulling, just getting it stretched out and laying that on. And we have one more to go. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really supports me. I'm getting ready to hopefully continue the process of posting once a week. This is an extra video just to add. I'll post another video on Sunday and be back on the schedule for every Sunday. My birthday is coming up. Not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but still have a few videos to edit and put out for you guys. So if you have a request, especially as the year is coming to an end and for next year, just let me know. I might be posting more videos for the holidays here on at the furniture store, because we have a few designs that we want to put out. Be able to make time for those and put them all. I actually have balloons I ordered last year that for Christmas, and I can't wait to design those. So let me know if you have things you want to see, and I'll make sure to post those. Putting the couch back in place so that I am not messing up the showroom, and it's back to how it was, except with the spider crawling over the top. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video. It's gonna be the next part of our backdrop for that 60th birthday. So thank you guys. Be blessed.